The war is over. Lincoln is dead, and Andrew Johnson is now president. The South is destroyed, and hundreds of thousands of men are dead. The South is suffering. Over 4 million freedmen are left homeless and unemployed, leading most of them to return to their previous plantations. Plantation owners lost over $3 billion in slave labor, and most have to sell their property. Many white men are losing their jobs to the freedmen and have decided to migrate westward. Only one question remains: will the Union punish or pardon the South? President Andrew Johnson created a plan of his own on how to treat the South after the Civil War had ended.
Though they rebelled against us, we must reconstruct the South. I have created a four-step plan. First, we will pardon Southerners who swear allegiance to the Union. Next, we will permit each state to hold a constitutional convention. We will then require states to void secession, abolish slavery, and repudiate the Confederate debt. Finally, the states will be able to hold elections and rejoin the Union.
But President Johnson, how is your plan any different from Lincoln's?
Lincoln called for Confederate military and government officials to be denied into the Union. He would have also required 10% of voters in a state to swear allegiance to the Union before holding the Constitutional Convention.
Although Southern states had been let into the Union, the new white-run governments tried to set up black codes to restrict the freedmen's rights. This led to the passing of the 14th and 15th Amendments.
So you are all free to do whatever you want. That you now have curfews. We can convict you of vagrancy or not working, which leads you to be whipped or sold like slaves. You have to sign an agreement to work, and your land will be restricted. Have fun.
Hey. That's not what we agreed to. You said we were completely free.
We will fix it. We can present you the 14th and 15th Amendments.
Say what? Just let me be free.
According to the 14th Amendment, all citizens, including you, freedmen, are guaranteed equal protection under the law. According to the 15th Amendment, all male citizens are guaranteed the right to vote. You are welcome.
Dang.
Due to the end of the war and the creation of the Freedmen's Bureau, blacks had more freedoms than ever before in America.
What are we supposed to do now? I have never felt so free.
You are free to do whatever you wish. Word is you can even vote. No way. I heard some black men were just elected into government roles in former Confederate states.
What do you mean, whatever we want?
Wherever you wish. You may join a church or many other clubs. Or you can even go to school if you want to sit in a desk all day. You can find work, make a home of your own, find entertainment, or keep living like you do now.
You mean we can get our own homes?
Yeah, that's right. I heard some men down by the river talking about some man named Sherman giving out land across the South.
That sure is right. Give it a shot. Do what you want.
Who are you?
I'm the Freedmen's Bureau. We're a big reason you have so many opportunities now. So make the best of them.
How did you standing there help us?
We are a major federal relief agency, the first in American history, actually. We give out food, clothing, and assistance to millions of freedmen. We've also helped educate over 250,000 blacks.
The South's land was destroyed, so farmers had to find new ways to grow crops to avoid poverty. Sharecropping and tenant farming arose, which changed the South greatly. The South then started using more white laborers, the emphasis on cash crops became stronger, there was a cycle of debt, and merchants were on the rise.
What are we supposed to do now? The land is done. We can't cover all our acreage.
I heard some men down at the market talking about some new farming methods. I think they were called sharecropping and tenant farming. What does that mean, Dad? I think it might work. They look pretty rich.
Might as well give it a shot. It's our only choice.
What are we supposed to do?
I will work on the sharecropping. I'll have to work with the neighboring farm, and we will all have to plant together and share the harvest and profit. You will try tenant farming, go back down to the market and hand out flyers saying we will rent out land to any buyers. They will rent our land and plant as they wish.
Yes, sir. See you tonight.
As the rest of the South was becoming more like the North, Southerners had to make their final adjustments of growing their cities and industry in order to keep up with the North.
Guys, I just got back from the north. The cities and industry there are marvelous. We have to build our own, or they are going to completely dominate us. We need cities, businesses, and factories.
He is right. I call for a new South, one with a thriving and industrious cities. Let's get it going. I say we rebuild the railroads to connect cities and expand our train system along the travel capabilities.
You're right. I think we make bigger cities. Let's start with some that are already large.
Say we build
Richmond, Atlanta, Nashville, and many more like in Texas.
Exactly. We may not be able to match the North in terms of industry, but we can industrialize the South in a different way. We can continue producing cotton in cotton mills and can begin manufacturing smaller products to send to the North to be finished. We'll become rich.
Right when the South seemed to be heading on the right track, a terrorist group arose and caused havoc once again for African Americans across the South.
I brought you here today to discuss my new organization, Ku Klux Klan, or the KKK. I am a Grand Wizard and was once of the Confederacy's best military leaders. We will wear white robes with all white masks. We are going to terrorize the South until the Republicans are gone and the blacks are laboring once again. We will do whatever it takes and will likely have to take thousands of lives of anybody who goes against us. Let's go.
Not so soon, Forrest. We have passed the Enforcement Act of 1870, banning the use of terror, force, and bribery to prevent people from voting. We have passed other laws banning your new Klan, and will wipe you out with the federal army.
The Reconstruction era in America came to an end shortly after the Compromise of 1877 when Democrats gave Hayes the victory in the 1876 election once he agreed to remove federal troops from the South. The Reconstruction helped America by restoring the Union, growing the South's economy, creating wealth in the North, passing the 14th and 15th Amendments, to give more Americans more rights, creating the Freedmen's Bureau to give African Americans more freedoms, and creating an education system in the South. The Reconstruction also failed in many areas, such as many white Southerners being angered by the government, the South's slow industrialization, African Americans being denied their right to vote, a cycle of poverty, and the continuation of racism.